It's so important to have the right people in your corner that'll tell you the right thing at the right time. You see, I didn't need anybody to tell me to throw in the towel, to give up. I didn't need him to co-sign my resignation. He knows me well enough to know that everything in my life I care about tremendously, I'm very passionate about. All of the professional endeavors, all of the relationships, none of them are things that I can give up. And if I can't give it up, then I gotta find it within to keep going, which means I gotta push that limit out farther. It's gonna be so easy for you to slide back into that old groove, that old neural pathway. Don't do that. Don't give up. You have to buckle up. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some work, and it's gonna be difficult at first. But if you keep carving out a new path, this thing will start to think different thoughts, which will create different emotions, which can change your identity, your core beliefs, your relationships, your behaviors. All of it can shift and change. But you can't give up so easily. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you're sliding down a path and you can't course correct, my message to you is don't give up so easily. Keep going. In order to move into response flexibility, which is your right to choose, you have to catch these thoughts and replace them. You have to work on your emotional regulation. You have to watch your behaviors, your body language, your affect, your energy, again and again and again. You're gonna slip into it all the time. But each time you slip into it, it's just an opportunity to pick up some tools, to implement strategies and interventions again. And the more you practice those things, the more you get better at it. And the more you get better at it, the more you can level up. Don't get down on yourself if you fall short. Just hit reset and try again. And it's like, I know how this thing can be. These thoughts and these emotions, these core beliefs, these obsessions and these compulsions and these intrusive thoughts and these cognitive distortions and the insecurity issues and the control issues and the anxiety and the depression and the panic attacks and the trauma, the fear and the anger, the sadness and the grief. I know how these things, they can bubble to the surface. Even if you're trying your best to address them, they still come back around to visit us, and then we can be very hard on ourselves because we're still struggling. Sometimes you got to put the behavior in front of the thoughts and emotions. You ask people why they didn't do something. They say, I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like I had the energy, the motivation, the inspiration. But sometimes when you wait for the motivation or the inspiration or the energy, you never start. And they put the cart in front of the horse. You can't always approach it from a cognitive or an emotional standpoint and wait for your thoughts and your emotions to align and give you that energy before you engage in the behavior. You have to engage in the behavior first consistently, and then the thoughts, the emotions, the energy, the motivation and inspiration will follow suit. But you see, the beautiful thing is that the contagion, it goes both ways. You could flip it upside down. So either you're going to contract their symptoms, their mood, their beliefs, their outlook, their pessimism, their darkness, or you can be the light that you wish to see in the world. Because what you have, that's contagious too. You could give them something. You can affect them with your mood, your attitude, your energy, your outlook, your optimism, your hope, your compassion, your resiliency, your grit, your discipline. What do you want to give them? Your gentleness, your forgiveness, your time, your understanding, your grace, your love, your smile. You can only keep what you have by giving it away. And when you give it away, you're not just giving it to them. You see, you're going to infect them, and then they're going to bring it home with them. They're going to bring it home to their friends, their family, and it will spread. You see, emotions are contagious. So either you're going to contract what they have or you're going to give them what you have. The question is, what are you going to give them? I wake up early in the morning before the sun comes out so that I can work out and so I can wrestle. I wrestle with these thoughts and these emotions and these inner demons and these symptoms and this depression and this anxiety and this trauma and this negative self-talk and these negative core beliefs and the self-esteem issues and the fears and the doubts, and I wrestle with those things. And I wish that you could visit inside of this head, inside of this heart, so you could see how strong those inner demons are. But more so, I wish that you could see the type of strength that I have in order to overcome those type of symptoms of those thoughts and those emotions every single day. And I wish that you could see that that strength is not something that I was born with. It's something that I've cultivated over the years. I've created it. And I wish with everything inside of my soul that you would understand that the strength that I possess in order to overcome those inner demons is a strength that exists within each and every one of you. And that if I can do it, you can do it. Don't give up.
And we think we know what our limits are, but we don't. You might know what they used to be, but that's an old version of you. You're no longer that version. You're the upgraded 2.0 revised version of you. You got a new bag of tools, healthy coping mechanisms, new ability to emotionally regulate, new gene expression, new neural pathways, new network and resources, new team, new squad, new experiences to draw upon, new knowledge. You have a different set of skills, different capacity to utilize your gifts and your creativity. You're a new version of you. And because you're a new version of you, your potential, your limit has been raised.
At night, when you lay your head down on the pillow, you should be recognizing the presenting problem of your life, of your day, of your week. You shouldn't spend a whole lot of time ruminating or thinking about it. You should identify it, then move into the solution. Stay solution focused. So if the presenting problem is feeling like you're not enough, you feel inadequate, deficit thinking, then you want to move into the solution of telling yourself that you're enough. And then you want to set the assignment for the following day, that you're going to wake up and you're going to train that. It's not chest day, it's not back day, it's not leg day, it's not shoulder day. You're training your mentality, your affirmations, your emotional regulation, your perspective, and your core beliefs. That's what you're going to work on the next day. But a lot of people go to sleep, then they'll wake up and they'll forget what it is that they were supposed to do. They'll forget the assignment. You see, because you have to go to sleep with it, then you have to wake up with it, then you have to carry it with you throughout your day. So you wake up, you shit, you shower, you shave, you get some breakfast, you're in the car, you're sitting in traffic, thinking about all the things you have to do when you get to the office, and you have to remember today, in addition to the things that I have to do at work, I'm also training, telling myself, embodying, feeling like I'm enough. Like the way I dress, the way I look, how good a shape I'm in, the money in the bank, my circle of support, my personality, what I have, what I don't have, it's enough. That's what you're working on in training. Then you get to the office, you check your emails, your text messages, you talk to your boss, your colleagues, you start looking at your Outlook calendar, and you have to remember, because you'll get distracted. Because we're bombarded with a slew of information and distractions every day that will make you snap back into old neural pathways, and then you'll forget. But you can't do that if you really want to change, if you want to grow, if you want to work on something. You have to hold on like your life depends on it, because it does. There is no easy way. Stop looking for it. No matter which direction you go in life, it's going to be hard. You have to pick your hard. We have a predisposition to try to avoid pain and discomfort to help us survive. But we do so to a fault. Part of what we do in therapy is try to get people to turn towards that which they don't want to face. Those thoughts, those emotions, those memories, that trauma. You have to face it, trace it, erase it, and replace it. You have to turn towards it. You have to sit with it. You have to look it dead in its eye like, I'm not going to go anywhere. We're going to have to figure this out. It's a funny thing. When you do that, it will shape shift. It will change shape. Like a bully. When you stand up to it, sometimes it'll back down. Your presenting problems are like that. Those inner demons are like that.
You see, it's not just the gym that will break you down and damage you. Life has a way of breaking you down and damaging you. It'll damage you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It'll shake you to your core. It'll bring you to your knees, and it'll knock you on your ass. And when you're down on your ass, you have a choice to make as to whether or not you want to get back up and dust yourself off and set a new limit.
Because sometimes feelings or emotions are triggered by thoughts. Thoughts can be cognitive distortions, which are by definition faulty or illogical. So if the antecedent or onset to the emotion is faulty or illogical, then the emotion that follows can't be valid. Yet people think that just because they feel something that it's got to be true, which is the definition of emotional reasoning, which is a cognitive distortion. Just because you feel something doesn't mean that it's factual, logical, true, or valid. Overgeneralizations, black or white thinking, all or nothing thinking, fortune telling, mind reading, catastrophizing, all cognitive distortions that can trigger a negative emotional reaction. The more you're in those emotions, the more it triggers corresponding negative thoughts. The more you have those thoughts, the more it triggers negative emotions, and you're stuck in a feedback loop. You have to hit pause and ask if there's any evidence to support the thought, if there's evidence to the contrary. If you add confirmation bias to a cognitive distortion, then you're in trouble, because then you start seeking out evidence to support the bias that you already held, which only makes the problem worse. You have to try to see it from a different perspective, see if there's evidence to the contrary, or seek out someone that will give you an objective truth.
And yet some of you think that everything that is beautiful that comes into your life, or everything that feels good, is for you to keep, is for you to savor, or is for you to touch. And unfortunately, you're going to mess around and break your moral compass. You're going to compromise your values. You're going to compromise your relationship, your children, your peace, your serenity, your sleep at night.
Like sometimes you know exactly what you need to do, but you just won't do it. And because you won't do it, the pain is going to get worse. That discomfort, that suffering. Eventually it's going to get so bad that hopefully you surrender. And then you finally do that which you knew you were supposed to do the whole time. And when you do that, the pain will subside and you'll find relief. And then you'll ask yourself, like, why did I wait so long to do that? I could have avoided all that pain, discomfort, and suffering. If you're out there right now and you know what you need to do, just do it. And I speak about it so passionately because I know that there's millions of people out there right now that are stuck in dark corners and dark rooms with dark thoughts and dark emotions illuminated by a big lighter, and they are not getting out. They will die in the darkness. 49,000 people in the United States committed suicide in 2022. 720,000 people worldwide committed suicide. That's a lot of people. The world didn't kill them. They decided, I don't want to play anymore. They threw in the towel. It's lights out. No more second chances. This world will take you, shake you, and break you. It'll break you off. It's broken me several times. I had to put the pieces back together. I've been in those dark places, and I promised myself that when I got out, if I got out, I would go back and help light up a path and share some tools to those people that are still struggling. And you're gonna need those tools. You're gonna need the right mentality, the right grit, the right tenacity, the right work ethic, the right discipline, the right circle of support. You have to have a I'm not gonna give up mentality. I'm gonna burn the boats. I'm gonna burn the bridge. I'm gonna take the island. I'm gonna draw a line in the sand. I'm gonna look at my inner demons like I'm not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna have to figure this out. You have to approach it like that. Not just if you want to survive, but if you want to overcome any of your ailments, if you want to accomplish any of your goals, you need that. You're gonna have to find your courage. You're gonna have to open up and expose vulnerability. You're gonna have to turn and go inside. That's what it takes. You can't run, you can't hide, you can't escape, you can't self-medicate, you can't distract your way out of this. It doesn't work. I've tried it. You have to turn towards it, but you have to turn towards it with the right mentality. The future upgraded 2.0 version of yourself is reliant and dependent upon your ability to not give up. Like if you make it through this and you get to the other side and you come out of the storm, a different version of yourself, that future version of yourself is going to look back on this current version of yourself and be so grateful that you didn't give up, that you fought one more day, that you reached out for support, that you picked up some tools, that you put on that podcast, that you opened up that book, that you put pen to paper, that you worked on your meditation, that you decided to not give up.
Because there's nothing in life like laying your head down on the pillow, knowing that you did the next right thing and the next right thing, and that you have a clear conscience, and that you didn't hurt anyone that you love, and that you didn't hurt yourself. You see, self-discipline is not just about engaging in behaviors that you know you're supposed to engage in. It's also about refraining from engaging in behaviors that you know you're not supposed to engage in. It's about foregoing instant gratification. It's about sacrificing.
You always want to remain teachable. There are no losses, only lessons. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Things are going to unfold one of two ways. They're either going to benefit you or they're going to teach you something. But life isn't going to teach you anything. You're not going to be able to extract the lesson unless you see life like a teacher. You have to see it as such. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, when you see life in and of itself as the teacher, then class is always in session. You need to remain a student. You have to stay open-minded. You have to stay teachable, because every circumstance, every situation, it will offer you something. It will help you, guide you, mold you, teach you. Sometimes you are your greatest teacher. Remember, it's not what happens to you in the external environment. It's the way that you respond rather than react. And these reactions, these responses, they're internal. They're thoughts and emotions. So when the emotions show up, sometimes you have to close your eyes and you have to go within. It's an inside job. Don't run. Don't hide. Don't self-medicate. Don't numb. Don't avoid. Don't escape. Turn towards them. Pull them out of the shadows. Put them onto the table. Hold them in the light. Look at them dead in their eye and ask, what are you here to teach me? Everything, whether it be external or internal, good or bad, there's something to be learned. This world will offer you something. You have to ask this world to help you, guide you, mold you, teach you some more, use you for what it wants to use you for. Life is a game, and class is always in session, so you have to remain a student of this game and always remain teachable.
This, over here on this side of the line, is your internal state. This is your lane. And in your lane are the things that you can control, which is your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavioral choices, your core beliefs, your perceptions, and your attitudes. Over here, on this side of the line, is the external environment and everything in it. Macro level systems, other people, places, and things. What they think, how they feel, and how they behave. Their core beliefs, their attitudes, and their perceptions. This is not your lane, and these are the things that you cannot control. Your adult children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your boss, your neighbor, the person who cut you off on the highway, the person who sent you the nasty email, the person in the comment section online, random strangers in the community, your immediate family, your loved ones, everybody falls into this category.
And it's like, how do I know which approach, which strategy, which intervention is best for me to deal with my presenting problem? Like, which one? All of them. Ideally, you want to learn all of the approaches, strategies, and interventions that you possibly can so that you leave no stone unturned, so that you can be able to tackle your presenting problem from any angle if need be. But you can learn all of the approaches, strategies, interventions, and tools that you can possibly learn, and none of them are going to be effective if you don't believe that they are. You have to believe in the treatment, otherwise the treatment isn't going to be effective. The prognosis is going to be poor. You have to believe deep down inside of your soul that you're capable, that you have the capacity to be able to pick up these tools, implement the strategies and interventions, follow the treatment plan, and you'll come out on the other side. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen, because those who believe they can and those who believe they cannot are both usually right. You have to check your core beliefs. For a lot of you, you've been thinking the same thoughts and having the same emotional reactions. You've been engaging in the same behaviors, surrounding yourself with the same circle of support. For so long, it's unrealistic to think that you're going to pick up these tools and implement them and then rewire your brain or your nervous system overnight. You have to buckle up. You're going to need to be patient. You have to keep implementing these tools moment to moment, day after day, week after week, year after year. You're going to go through the valley of plateaus where you're doing this work, this inner work. You're implementing these strategies and interventions, and it doesn't feel like it's working, especially at the beginning. But if you keep on implementing them consistently and you believe that they're going to be effective, eventually you're going to have a breakthrough moment. As I've gotten older, I had to get with me. I had to introduce myself to myself. I had to stop looking outside of myself to figure out who am I. And I had to close my eyes and go within. I had to go inside. And when I went inside and I took the mask off and I opened up and exposed vulnerability to look at that, at my core, at my essence, I realized I am powerful. I am gifted. I am creative. I'm valuable. I am worthy. But I have an imagination, I have a voice, I have an ability to be of service, I have a story, I have something that needs to be shared. And it's beyond measure, and it does not fluctuate based on what I have, how skilled I am, or the feedback of other people. It's constant. I was born with it, and I will die with it.
You can't wait for the external environment to change in order for you to change. You can't wait for external people, places, and things to change in order for you to change. You can't wait for your family to change in order for you to change and heal. You can't control it, and you shouldn't let it come over here and control you. And this is why they say it's you versus you. It's not you versus the external environment, because you can't change the external environment, and you shouldn't let the external environment change you. So when the dust settles, what you're left with is you in your lane, focused on your emotional regulation, regardless of what's going on in the external environment. It's about your ability to respond rather than react. It's about achieving response flexibility. It's about achieving autonomy and agency. It's about your ability to bounce back and achieve resiliency in the face of adversity. It's about your ability to stay grounded, balanced. It's about your ability to practice stress management regardless of the external stressors in your life. It's about your ability to empower yourself so that you don't live in a victim mentality. It's about your ability to go from sympathetic to parasympathetic, calming your amygdala down, reintegrating your prefrontal cortex so that you can be strategic, rational, and logical. It's you versus you.
Now you could rewrite this character because you are the author, director, and the producer of your story. But in order to play the main character, in order to play the protagonist, you have to play the part. You have to act as if. You have to suit up and show up. You have to face your fears. You have to live within your purpose. You have to find your authentic self. Like when the storm shows up, you can't recluse, you can't draw the shades. You have to face adversity differently. Like there is no great story without adversity. No one wants to watch that movie where the main character doesn't face any adversity, where they don't overcome their trials and tribulations, where they don't develop some sense of resiliency, which is your ability to bounce back in the face of adversity. It's your ability to exhibit mental, emotional, and behavioral flexibility to meet the external and internal demands. And it might sound arrogant or egotistical, cocky, that I can speak about myself as such. That regardless of what other people think about me, regardless of the feedback of the world, that this is who I am. And I know it. It sounds arrogant until you realize that the same way I view myself is the same way that I view each and every one of you. That everyone has that same essence, that same level of worthiness, those characteristics that are unmeasurable. You have your own gifts, and it shouldn't fluctuate based on the feedback of this world, the feedback from other people. It's not contingent upon anything. You are born with it, and you will die with it. You have to know who you are.